Welcome to Food News Today. So, I gotta know, how was your Halloween? Was it scary? Was it lame? Lots of candy? What about those healthier treats? And for those of you who think that dressing up the kids and yourself was getting expensive, here's a Halloween fact that you might not have heard. According to Time magazine, we Americans were expected to spend $370 million on Halloween costumes this year for our pets. Now that's actually $70 million more than we spent last year. The only thing I can say is it looks like Halloween is going to the dogs. Sorry, let's get started. Get some exercise and lose some weight. Now that's been the standard advice for overweight and obese patients with type 2 diabetes for decades. It now appears that this advice has actually been little more than wishful thinking. The National Institute of Health recently terminated a huge diabetes study after the researchers announced a surprise finding that weight loss and moderate exercise had no measurable benefit. Now, the NIH released a statement saying that the 11-year study did no harm, but did not decrease the occurrence of cardiovascular events, which was the primary study goal. Now, approximately 24 million American adults have type 2 diabetes, including 11 million aged 65 and older. And heart disease is the most common cause of death among diabetics. Now, don't expect medical advice to change much, however. While the benefit in preventing cardiovascular disease was too small to measure, moderate weight loss did show benefits in just how overweight diabetics feel, how they sleep, and how they move. And as Rena Wing, the researcher at Brown University's Miriam Hospital in Providence, Rhode Island, notes, we feel that there are many reasons why people with type 2 diabetes should control their weight. Here's the top line for good health for everyone: eat less and exercise more. If you're looking to get rid of some extra pounds, steer clear of diet soda. Yes, you heard me right. Avoid diet soda. According to some recent studies that were summarized in Prevention magazine, it's not just regular sodas with sugar that can stack on the pounds. Diet soda is also a disaster for your waistline. Here's why. Diet soda may destroy your metabolism. The University of Minnesota conducted a study of 10,000 adults and showed that just one sugar-free soda a day gave them a 34% higher risk of metabolic syndrome, which produces belly fat and high cholesterol, and therefore raises the risk for heart disease. Secondly, drinking 2 or more cans of diet soda each day expanded waistlines by 500% over time. This stat comes from the University of Texas Health Science Center, where researchers concluded that artificial sweeteners can harm the body's ability to regulate food intake and result in overeating. And finally, well, there's the can itself. Prevention magazine reports that soda cans are coated with BPA, which is linked to numerous health problems such as obesity and heart disease. Not to mention a new study published in the Detroit Free Press that revealed a link between BPA and obesity in our kids. So what's a soda lover on a diet to do? Well, how about sticking with water? And for flavor, a squeeze of lime, lemon, or orange. Everyone seems to be getting ready for this year's holiday season, including the folks at Pringles. That's right, Kelloggs, which now owns Pringles, is getting into the spirit by releasing some new holiday flavors: pumpkin pie spice, white chocolate peppermint, and cinnamon and sugar. So what did we do? We went straight to Facebook to see what you thought. Pam says that none of the flavors sound appealing at all for a potato chip. Actually, sounds pretty gross. Tanya says she's willing to try them. Jennifer, we don't buy Pringles because the gluten factor, but I am a potato chip purist who believes potato chips should taste of potato and salt. And Christina, she might have said it best. No thanks, Pringles. The only time I like potato chips to be sweet is if they're dipped in chocolate or in caramel, then chocolate. What I wish they would do is go back to their original flavors. I used to love the cheese flavored chips, but it seems they changed the flavoring at some point, and now they aren't nearly as good. I rarely buy them at all anymore. Now, Fred Bauer invented Pringles when he was at Procter & Gamble. He actually said that he ate a Pringles potato chip every day since. But in 2008, he passed away at age 90. And at his request, a portion of his cremated ashes were placed in a Pringles container and buried in his grave. The question is, what would Fred have thought of these new flavors? The aroma is a cross between oil, potato, and chocolate. These are the peppermint chocolate ones. And they taste like peppermint chocolate and very little potato. And very bland. And not very good. I can only imagine if Fred had tasted these, he'd probably be turning over in his grave. That's all for this week's edition of Food News Today. Don't forget to check out our new website and send us a message on Facebook or Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. Food News Today is sponsored by ConAgra Foods, who shares with me the desire to provide the most current, interesting, and unbiased food news. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.